Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Lords of the Night. With me, as always, is the Lord of Pain, Ranting Monkey,
Hello.
and the Lord of Pennies, Satsu 2 cents.
I prefer Louds of the Night, or whatever.
And I'm your host, Scribe, the Loud of Punishment.
Right.
I guess. Hello, chat. Hello, everyone. Hope you have had a good week and a good weekend ahead of you. It's been a relatively sedate week for me overall. Productive one, I think. I don't know. Just a warning, both a reminder to you and to Monkey and Satsu that I may not be here tomorrow night. I'm going to visit my parents tomorrow for a practically full day trip kind of deal. And looks like the scheduling as it is, I might not end up at home again until after the show's halfway over or something. So I may be absent, but I will still be in your hearts, I'm sure, like cholesterol or something. Thank you, Lamented Guide. Darth Scion is the Lord of Pain, Scribe. Okay. Now, I knew going in, and I think it was my fault that I started calling Monkey the Lord of Pain, but I knew going in that the Star Wars, enthusiasts would think that we were taking off on that. But Monkey's situation is such that there really wasn't another word to describe him in his lordliness. And the Lord name had to start with a P thing, kind of started with, he was the Lord of Pain, SDA was the Lord of Puppies, and it took a while before mine came around. I think it was Monkey who finally said, just make yourself the Lord of Punishment, because I didn't have one for the longest time. But yes, no, I understand Darth Scion was the Lord of Pain, and that, what was it? I forget, was the Lord of Pain. What was Cray again? The Lord of, it was like Chaos or something. I forget. Anyway, I know. But if you want to think of, Monkey as this ultra powerful yet broken individual, that's a Jedi. That's probably more accurate.
All right.
Oh, she was the Lord of Betrayal. That's what it was. She was Lord of Pain, Lord of Betrayal, and then Darth Nihilus was the Lord of Destruction or something. See, I haven't played that game in so long, I can't remember. But anyway, all that sort of completely tangential Star Wars lore aside, Satsu, how are you?
Well, it depends.
On diapers?
I'm good. I'm very good, actually. Some would even say great.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Was that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Monkey, how are you?
I'm sore and a little tired. I just woke up and spent all day sleeping, so we'll see how the rest of the night goes. I just took my medicine, so hopefully I'll wake up and feel better. How you doing, Scribbles?
Like I said, had a fairly calm day, very quiet day at work. And then I got reminded I had to have my psychiatrist appointment today. I always forget that I have those. It's like I get a reminder email. It's like, oh, you got to talk to your psychiatrist. Like, oh, because I have to talk to my psychiatrist like once now every 6 months or something in order to still qualify for my medication. But I get to do it over Skype, so I get to talk to the guy and say, "Hey, how's it going?" He's like, "How's it going?" Like, well, still not crazy. Okay, bye. That's basically it. I mean, there's probably a little bit more that goes into it, but that's basically it. Not that I ever was crazy. Well, maybe a little. Anyway, I'm going off on tangents tonight. Otherwise, yeah, I'm fine. And with that, guys, Monkey Dick, Jim Jones, movies, video games. Hit that like button if you have not already. And a good, 2/3 of you haven't. Thereabouts, something like that. So, just it's one little click. Helps out the show. Makes me feel better about myself without the need for medication. Just think about it. It's all right.
Or psychiatrist.
And please share our stuff. Share it far, wide, and sideways. And I remind this every time, but same goes for every creator on YouTube or elsewise that you enjoy, because, especially on YouTube, there's no real help given to the smaller channels and even some mid-sized channels that put out content, anything other than tutorials or, cute animal videos or something. So tweeting out videos you like or the channel links to creators that you enjoy is always helpful one way or the other. So appreciate that. But with that, anything else to talk about before we go on? You guys, are you guys 7 days to dying tonight?
We are, right, Monkey? Monkey? Oh, he muted himself.
Yes,
as far
we
as
are.
I know, I was going to say, yes, we are.
All right. Any giveaways?
Yes, something.
Something. All right. So mystery prize if you show up and hang out with Monkey and Satsu on 7 Days to Die. After this, over on 2 Cents Plus. But with that, let's get in to the news. That was my Keemstar. You like my Keemstar? Actually, that wasn't very good. This was let's get right into the news.
Slightly better.
Slightly better? Okay.
Slightly.
Well, oh my God, Acosta'd quit, but not the one we were hoping for.
Oh, darn.
I know. Yeah, this broke actually during Monkey in the Morning, which I was watching this morning. Oh, hello. Thank you, James Colley. I'll think about it. In the time being, think about this. Are you thinking about like sharing my stuff or hitting the like button? Think about that. Okay, I'll think about that. Thank you, James Colley. I'm thinking about it, thinking really hard that it's probably going to get me a whole bunch of goldfish. Goldfish. Thank you again, James Colley. Yeah, so for those of you that have been hiding under a rock or something, Alexander Acosta'd, the labor secretary, many years ago was a key prosecutor in the case of Jeffrey Epstein. It's Jeffrey Epstein, yes?
Yeah.
Is it Jeffrey? I'm better with last names than with first names. Some people. Anyway.
Yes, it's Jeffrey.
Yeah, he was prosecuted in Florida several years ago for charges of sex trafficking and pedophilia and everything else. And he got the sweetest heart sentence you could possibly think of for a child predator, which was basically 12 hours out of every day, 6 days a week, he could leave his prison to go work. And he got 2 years doing that or something for multiple charges of sex trafficking and pedophilia or child molestation.
So he got
18 months or so.
time out.
Sorry, one at a time?
Go ahead, Satsu.
Oh, I said, so he got sentenced to time out.
Basically. And Monkey?
I said, I think it was 18 months.
18 months. Okay. Yeah. So you got this sweetheart deal. And, aside from probably some press at the time, never was heard a discouraging word again, basically, in the main press. Okay. Now, when this thing broke a week or two ago or whatever, and Alexander Acosta'd's name came up, I thought to myself, was this never mentioned before, his involvement in this case? Because the labor secretary has to be confirmed by Congress. And, the confirmation process, generally speaking, is sort of a way to vet that candidate ahead of being confirmed by Congress. And so I went to the really Herculean effort of finding the transcript of his confirmation hearings. And I just searched for one word, Epstein. And lo and behold, during the confirmation process, he was questioned at length about his involvement in that case. But do you know what? He was confirmed anyway, including by several Democrats. So I'm always fascinated by, and I said this on Twitter earlier today, these known scandals that never seem to be a problem of any note until they're politically convenient.
Yeah.
Now, I don't particularly care about Alexander Acosta'd's job one way or the other. I think that if I'm not that jazzed about him handing this millionaire monster, a sweetheart deal that he basically got to dodge consequences for ruining multiple children's lives. But at the same time, I'm always just fascinated by the political expediency of sitting on your outrage until it makes sense to say something. Real quick, thank you, John Migda. Go C team. That's me. Sorry, that's me. I am the C team when you devolve everything down from A and the B and I'm the C. And thank you, Terry D. Montes. The only J. Epstein that matters is the character that was in Welcome Back, Kotter. Oh God, Epstein. That's right. Was that Juan? Was it Juan Epstein? Something like that. Anyway, I haven't watched that show in a long time. All right. Anyway, you were saying something, Satsu. Sorry.
I don't remember. It wasn't important.
Okay. Well, anyway, so today, Alexander Acosta resigned. And we have an analysis here from CNN, not by our favorite friend, but by someone named Paul Callan, who is a CNN legal analyst and former New York homicide prosecutor. Let's see. Sometimes no deal is better than a bad deal. That is perhaps one of the most important lessons that now former Labor Secretary Alexander Acosta should absorb as his career appears to be crashing and burning in the wake of the Lolita Express, the nickname accorded to Jeffrey Epstein's now infamous corporate jet. On Friday, President Donald Trump announced that Acosta had resigned after backlash against a plea deal Acosta, when he was U.S. Attorney in Miami, negotiated in 2007 and 2008 with Epstein. Had Acosta rejected Epstein's proposed plea deal in pursuit of vigorous federal investigation of Epstein when he first encountered him in 2007, Epstein might well have been behind bars with a long sentence many years ago. Prosecutors are often confronted with the task of making extraordinarily difficult decisions regarding the many kinds of repulsive criminal conduct they encounter. At the top of almost every ethical prosecutor's list of the worst are accusations of crimes relating to the sexual abuse of children. These are red flag offenses that will cause any responsible prosecutor to tread carefully before accepting a lenient disposition in such cases. The reason is that pedophiles are well known to be repeat offenders. Acosta was an experienced enough prosecutor back then to know that any guilty plea likely to put a pedophile back in circulation, where he can damage the lives of even more innocent children, is most probably a very bad deal. It is also the kind of plea destined to rebound and destroy the prosecutor's own reputation when the pedophile repeats his offense, as he almost inevitably will. This is not a new or novel concept. Acosta's proffered defense that things were different back in 2007, when he negotiated a non-prosecution agreement with Epstein's prominent defense attorneys, is absurd. Then, as now, any responsible and sensible federal prosecutor would recognize this agreement as a major mistake. In a press conference on Wednesday, Acosta tried to defend himself by saying that he had relied on the advice of the experienced prosecutors who worked with him in the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of Florida. If this proves to be true, even the most seasoned of career prosecutors ultimately look to their boss, the person appointed as President of the United States, to make the final decision in the big and controversial cases. It is also unseemly for Acosta to throw his prior employees under the bus while struggling to save his own job. I agree. This goes on for quite a while. This guy knows his stuff. But again, you had a raft of politicians, some of whom I'm sure were lawyers and or prosecutors in their own right at the time, confirming this guy despite the discussion of this very case. So I'm not sure who to blame here. It's buyer's remorse by some people now, and Acosta's resigning for a job that maybe he shouldn't have been given in the first place if his judgment was so poor in that case that you guys confirmed him anyway. Anyway.
Who wrote this story?
This was, this is Paul Callan, Callan.
How much did Paul care about this 2 months ago?
Well, I have no idea. Like I said, this is but with him and anybody else. Alexander Acosta's fitness to be in office on the basis of his decisions in this one case was not a hidden secret. It was not something that hadn't been brought up by anybody.
No.
So if anybody was going through the weeds in vetting all of Trump's cabinet positions, or all his appointments, I should say, this didn't matter until 2 weeks ago.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. Thank you, James Colley. C or C team. It's the letter C. It's always been in text, so sorry, James. Also, it's only a problem now because it's election time and time to dismantle Orange Man's administration.
Well,
I mean, it's politically convenient because Epstein has come back into the news and people can trace his connections to people with Trump and directly to Acosta. So, it's kind of a boon relatively speaking. If Epstein hadn't been brought up again or hadn't been re-prosecuted, you never would have heard about it, because it'd be everything that it was since Acosta was confirmed till now, which is nothing. It'd be a nothing burger. Now it matters.
And look, that deal was stupid. And yet no deal probably would have been better than that, especially considering they gave immunity to like everybody involved.
Yeah.
But again, like you said, this was they asked him about this when they confirmed him.
Yep.
At length. You know how many reporters were out there like, this can't happen? I don't think Paul was among those.
Yeah, and I didn't get a chance to see. I know that I looked up which Democrats confirmed him. And honestly, if this is a problem now, everybody who confirmed him in the Senate has an apology to make if this was as much of a problem as they're saying it is. And I'd say it's kind of an interesting, mark on your record if you handed a pedophile this kind of deal. But regardless, I know that Joe Manchin was one of them. I forget who else it was. I remember reading off the list of Democrats that voted for him. But either way, yeah. So there you go. Now he's out of the job, and by the time we get to the actual election next year, this scandal, as far as being a blight on Trump as compared to everything else, will fade into the background anyway. So it really doesn't matter.
I don't
think
keep
anyway.
Sneezing over here. Yeah. By the time the election rolls around, this won't be an issue.
I mean, in a way, Trump's lucky that it happened now rather than a year from now. Maybe.
Yeah. Well, I don't think this one's going to hit him that hard anyway, because again, he had to be confirmed by the Senate.
Right. The other thing too that I was thinking about, and this has been going on the last couple of weeks ever since it came out, they have that one photo of Epstein and Trump together back in like 10, 15 years ago or something.
Yeah.
And I kept thinking, people are like, oh my God, what did Trump do? And I gotta say, it's not impossible that there's something else to be said about the relationship between Epstein and Trump, right? However, Trump has been under a microscope in one form or another for decades, whether you're talking about the tabloid media, and certainly in the last 4 years since he decided to run for president. If someone has evidence of Trump being involved in something on that side of Epstein's little world, and they haven't said anything yet, and they're waiting until October 15th, 2020 to finally drop that photo or something, I think someone else would have found it by now and said something. I could be wrong. Maybe there is somebody out there that's been sitting on this and is waiting for the opportune moment to say something or to reveal it or whatever else. But I don't know. It seems like if there was something to be found about him and that kind of stuff, with all the prosecutions, with all the journalists, with all the other investigators, and they've gotten to the point where it's like the only thing they've got left to really go after is his tax returns because they've looked at everything else. I think they would have found out if he was like taking private plane trips to a pedophile island or something, So,
yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was just about to say I agree.
The quote they keep using from Trump where he mentions that Epstein likes him young.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That is from like 2002, before all of this blew up. And what?
We got a special request from Catherine Hagermeyer. Thank you so much, Catherine. Can you tell my daughter Elise to stop singing and go to bed? I don't know. I mean, telling someone to stop singing. Okay, well, let's see. Now, if Elise is in the photo there, oh, what a cutie. All right. Elise, this is my special message to you from your mother. There are times when it's okay to sing, and there's times when you have to go to sleepy. And now is the time to go to sleepy. If you want to sing, you can sing in your head. Sing quietly to yourself. Sing yourself to sleep. But it's time to go sleepy. That is a special message from Scribe via your mother. I hope you sleep well. And sweet dreams.
I'm in no position to tell anybody that. I used to drive my mom insane.
You're ruining the moment, monkey.
You drive me insane right
At
now.
least I understand, but it's time for sleep, sweetie. You can sing in the morning.
Yes.
You sing as soon as you wake up. That's what I do.
Wake up mommy with a song tomorrow morning. I'm sure she'll love it.
But
There you go.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
You also have the depositions that are out there. They tried to depose. Is that the right word?
Sure.
When they tried to get Trump in for a deposition, they couldn't do it. But the one, I believe it's a civil case going on. By all rights, it says as soon as Trump found out the accusations against this guy, he barred him from Mar-a-Lago.
Right.
Before there was any criminal investigation.
Yeah.
It was just like, he did what? Get him the hell out of here.
Yeah.
So, yeah, trying to tie it to Trump is a stretch, real stretch.
Like I say, it's not impossible, but again, given how much scrutiny Trump's been given, I can't imagine anybody who would have such like direct evidence of anything like that wouldn't have already said something. Anyway, we got other crazy stuff that happened today, like AOC and ICE. Did you see this clip, Monkey?
No.
Oh, Monkey. Oh, Monkey, you're going to love this.
I've been asleep.
I know, but still, you got to see. You'll enjoy it either way. So, former ICE director Tom Homan, Homan, I think I'm saying that correctly, leaves Ocasio-Cortez speechless on immigration. Former acting ICE director Tom Homan left New York Democratic Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez speechless during congressional hearings Friday on the topic of family separations at the border. Excuse me. The exchange began when Ocasio-Cortez tried to nail Homan down as being the quote-unquote author of the quote-unquote family separation policy memo, which he had signed. Homan noted that while he did not write the policy, he had made, quote, numerous recommendations to Homeland Security, including implementing a zero-tolerance policy for illegal border crossers. Quote, which includes family separation, Ocasio-Cortez interrupted. Quote, the same as it is with every U.S. citizen, Homan shot back, parent who gets arrested with a child. After a brief pause, a seemingly rattled Ocasio-Cortez said, zero tolerance was interpreted as the policy that separated the children from their parents. Quote, if I get arrested for DUI and I have a young child in the car, I'm going to be separated, Homan said. When I was a police officer in New York and I arrested a father for domestic violence, I separated that father from his family, unquote. Quote, Mr. Homan, with all due respect, legal asylees are not charged with any crime, said the Congresswoman. But Homan was ready, with a specific U.S. code, no less. Quote, when you're in this country illegally, it's violation 8, United States Code 1325, unquote. Quote, seeking asylum is legal, she insisted. Quote, if you want to seek asylum, you go through a port of entry, he responded. Do it the legal way. The Attorney General of the United States has made that clear, unquote. Okay, said Ocasio-Cortez. The New York Democrat responded to the exchange on Twitter after the hearing, arguing that limited ports of entry and restrictions on how many can enter through even the open ports created a desperate situation for many seeking asylum. Mm-hmm. Quote, when Homan says they can come in a port of entry, what he doesn't say is that the administration has practically closed ports to asylees. Have they?
No.
Out of desperation, families do what Oscar and Valeria... Okay, AOC, that guy put his 2-year-old daughter on his shoulders and stepped into that rushing river because they couldn't wait a day for the bridge to open. A day. They had spent God knows how many weeks coming from their home country all the way north to the border, and they couldn't wait a day. That guy drowned his daughter because he was impatient and wanted to break the law and jump the line rather than waiting a day. Do not put his decision to kill his own kid and put his life at risk on the administration. Nobody forced him to do that. He made that choice the second he put his foot in the river. Sorry, I did a whole soapbox on this. That whole story and everybody playing ping pong with trying to place the blame on anybody other than that father pisses me off.
Well,
sorry.
you can make those type of apologetics for any person that's ever committed any crime because they were desperate. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, so what you're saying is, as a whole, or unless you're just extending this to illegal immigrants, that as long as a situation is difficult for you, you should be permitted to break the law. Because it was a desperate situation. Things were tough and complicated. So he should have been able to do that illegal thing, is what you're advocating for right now.
Yeah. And to evoke that particular incident where you've got two parents, because the mother wasn't a separate thing, but two parents intentionally putting the lives of their children at risk. And you want to say that this guy was wrong about endorsing the possibility of child separation from families coming across the border illegally? That's your example. Okay, sure.
It makes me feel so good that we literally gave that exact same example. We were talking about this weeks ago.
Months
and they
ago.
were just like months ago, like they're separating them. I'm like, dude, people get arrested every day, and they're separated from their kids.
Your
kids don't get taken with you.
We made that argument back when SDA was still on the show.
Yeah. We've talked about this forever, about the whole child separation thing. If you get arrested for a crime, you get taken away from your family. You don't get to take your kids with you. You know, if I go and rob a bank, I'm going to federal prison. I don't get to take my children with me. Now, there are some allowances made in certain situations for new mothers or women who are pregnant to take care of their children for a brief time while they're in prison, or depending on the level of security in a prison. But as a matter of general policy, except in those very, very rare situations, you don't get to be with your family anymore. That's the whole point of incarceration. You get to lose a section of your life as paying your debt to society. Right? So good job, ICE guy, Homeland Security guy. You did what we did a year ago, and which I'm sure many people have said otherwise.
It's about time somebody brought that up to these people in their faces, like, because it never gets brought up. I've seen it on a couple of videos. Somebody did a video just the other day who mentioned it. I want to say it was Razor Fist, but otherwise, you don't see it in the news. They never bring that shit up ever.
All right. Well, speaking of the law and children under threat, but in a way that I don't endorse, let's say. And when I saw the headline of this, I thought this was going to be a story from like another country. Nope, this was in Philadelphia. Police say a crowd took the law into their own hands and beat a man to death who stole a car with kids inside.
Oh, come on.
In an apparent act of mob justice, a man was beaten to death after he tried to steal a car with 3 children inside, Philadelphia police said. Eric Hood, 54, drove off with the car while the children's mother and father were in a store Thursday night. The parents chased down the vehicle on foot and pulled the carjacker out of the car when he got caught in traffic. Hood assaulted the father and fled, but a large crowd stopped Hood and beat him, the police said. He was pronounced dead at Temple University Hospital. Excuse me. Quote, "I'm not a fan of street justice," Philadelphia Police Captain Jason Smith said at a press conference Friday. Quote, "I think everything should play out through us as it comes to criminal actions," unquote. Police have video footage of the encounter and are trying to identify the people who assaulted Hood, Smith said. No arrests have been made yet. A spokeswoman for the district attorney's office said prosecutors are waiting for police to complete their investigation before commenting. The children in the vehicle were not harmed. Everybody who took part in that assault needs to be charged to the fullest extent of the law.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's not how this works at all, any way, shape, or form. The guy was running away. They didn't say he was armed or anything, so at that point he wasn't much. If you want to follow him, if you want to point police to him and let the cops do their job, sure. Beating him to death, no. Not cool. Not gonna pass muster with me.
There are times when I've seen like vigilante justice like that, and I wouldn't even call it vigilante justice, but like you walk in on somebody molesting your child and you kill them, I have no problem with that. That's a heat of the moment thing that I can understand. Chasing down somebody and beating him to death because no, all of you go to jail.
Faithless says, who knows what he would have done with the kids if he had not been caught. He wasn't with the kids at that point. He was away from the kids. He was out of the car. He was running away. You don't get to guess on what might have happened in a different reality and then kill somebody over it.
Also, the story ain't about him getting caught and being arrested. It's about him being beat to death. Yeah. So that's not really an argument. Because if they just caught him, held him down, and the police came and arrested him, then yeah. Who knows what would have happened if he didn't get caught? But they killed him. They found him and they murdered him.
Yeah. So, if they dogpiled him and restrained him until the cops showed up, hey, hometown heroes, right there, no problem. That's not what happened. They took somebody's life that didn't need to be taken at that point. You know.
Yeah, fuck the dude, man. Like fuck that dude.
He's
shit. But
that's beside the point. You know, his actions at that point were irrelevant because he was away from the children. He was no longer a threat to them. He was no longer committing that particular crime, and he was open to justice elsewise, but not getting beat to death. So.
Yeah, even to that point, you know, you don't know what he would have done. That's fine, but he was away from him, and that's where you get the police involved.
Yep. Let's see, we're already into time, so I'll skip that one. Just so you guys know, Facebook has to pay a $5 billion fine for that Cambridge Analytica deal. Yeah, they got charged the largest fine ever, apparently. Or should I say the largest fine ever imposed by the Federal Trade Commission against a tech company. I don't know if they're going to appeal it. I would imagine they would. Let's see. I don't see the word appeal in the story, but... you know, I'm sure they would probably do so.
Scribe another birthday.
Who?
I just see we have a birthday in all caps.
Oh, who?
Let me see.
Guys, if you tell us you have a birthday, it's sort of like when you say, "Why didn't you guys answer my question?" Like,
well, I think they said it, or they just didn't type it again.
I know, but it's just like we have a birthday. Like, well, who? Just tell us. We don't know.
I see the balloons for the name.
I don't know. TM Ryder's sister. Okay. Does TM Ryder's sister have a name we can go by? My sister, Purple Butterfly. Purple Butterfly. Were your parents hippies by any chance? It's fine if they were. I mean, I'm just curious. Monkey.
Purple Butterfly, you said?
Apparently so.
Okay. Purple Butterfly, we understand it's your birthday. And around here, we do this. And a 1. And a 2. Happy birthday to you.
I'm so sorry.
Happy birthday to you.
Not really.
Happy birthday. Dear Purple Butterfly.
Well, okay, now I am sorry.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Purple Butterfly. I hope you had a good one.
TM Ryder says, you asked that last year, Scribe, if we was hippies. Well, guess I'm just a man of predictable habits. What can I tell you? But with that, guys, we're going to move on to MSS News. So if you guys have any stories you would like us to read on the air, please send them to us via Twitter using the hashtag MSS News. And why was Christoph Waltz on? Oh, Christoph Waltz could reprise his role as Blofeld in Bond 25. Yeah, because the last one was such a great flick and a really memorable one. Oh, the Bond movies are so disappointing lately. Anyway, moving on. Take the filter off of this thing. Twitter always applies. And let's see. Raymond Lewis gave us the Facebook $5 billion fine story. Oh, sorry. Oh, no, it's a different story. It just has Facebook on the photo. My apologies. France hits back at U.S. over tax on digital giants. Okay. France has hit back at a U.S. investigation into a new French tax on major internet companies, saying threats were not the way allies should resolve disputes. Well, it depends on the situation. Allies does not necessarily mean friends, just so you know. The French Parliament approved a law on Thursday that would make France the first major economy to impose a tax on internet heavyweights. Dubbed the GAFA tax, an acronym for Google, Apple, Facebook, and Amazon, the legislation will impose a 3% levy on the total annual revenues of the largest technology firms providing services to French consumers. 3% of the annual revenues of Google, Apple, Facebook, and Amazon. That's a ton of fucking money. On Wednesday, the law appeared to have opened a new front in a trade row between Washington and the EU when Donald Trump ordered an investigation into the tax, which could lead to the U.S. imposing tariffs or other trade restrictions on France. The French Prime Minister, Bruno Le Maire, responded when he addressed French senators on Thursday by saying, quote, "Between allies, I believe we can and must resolve our differences in another way than through threats," unquote. He added, quote, "France is a sovereign country. Its decisions on tax matters are sovereign and will continue to be sovereign," unquote. Le Maire said he was warned about the investigation during a, quote, "long conversation with the U.S. Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin this week." Le Maire said it was the first time in the history of the relationship between the United States and France that the U.S. administration had decided to open such an investigation into French legislation. I'm still curious as to what justified the tax or what the tax is supposed to be for. Let's see. France has said it pressed on independently with its own tax. What? Hold on. Wait. France has led the push for internet companies with significant digital revenue in the EU to pay more tax at source, but has made little headway as Germany is cool on the idea, while member states with low corporate tax rates, such as Luxembourg and Ireland, firmly oppose the proposal. Okay, so they're just taxing digital companies for being in their country.
Sure.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, well, I guess, I don't understand then, why would Trump be that'd be an issue between France and the companies, not us and France, wouldn't it?
Sure. To be honest with you, I'm not exactly sure what's going on there.
Yeah, it seems a little odd that the U.S. government would come to the defense of private companies with a dispute with another country.
Yeah.
Not with like another company or with our government. So thank you, James Colley. If those companies offer hairy women porn, the French wouldn't pursue the tax. Jesus.
How do you know they don't?
Yeah. And it's not like those companies can't afford it. Whether it's just or not, you would have to take that to the French courts. That's got, as far as I know, nothing to do with us. So anyway, I guess we'll see. Moving on. Who's next? Okay. This Twitter sometimes, I tell you what, I hit one button and it resets everything, and I got to do it all over again. Because I can't just have one tab open that does a thing. It's got to do that. Okay, this one comes from Frosted Glass. Boy, today's the Guardian for our source of information. Nancy Pelosi's renewed attacks on AOC aren't just disrespectful, they're dangerous.
Oh, God.
Dangerous. All right. Can progressives please shut up and listen to Nancy Pelosi? The Speaker of the House, I would like to remind everyone, is a master strategist, a savvy tactician, and an experienced politician. She knows what's best for America. And what's best for America, apparently, isn't standing up to Donald Trump. No, it's ensuring 4 freshman congresswomen don't get ideas above their station. It's ensuring Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, in particular, knows her place. Mm-hmm. There have been long-running tensions between Pelosi and the so-called squad of new progressive congresswomen, which consists of Ocasio-Cortez, Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, and Ayanna Pressley. Things escalated sharply over the weekend when Pelosi decided it would be a good idea to demean her colleagues in the New York Times. Quote, all these people have their public whatever and their Twitter world, but they didn't have any following, Pelosi told the Times, referring to a border funding bill the squad opposed. Quote, they're 4 people, and that's how many votes they got. Unquote.
She's not wrong.
And she's not wrong. You've got 4 freshman politicians, congresspeople, or representatives, or congresswomen, whichever, who have no tenure, who have no real connections, no prior experience, and no power above where they're at in the pecking order.
Yeah.
That's reality. That's not a diss. That's just, hey, wake up. You guys might have a whole bunch of Twitter followers, but you still only have 1 vote.
Yeah. And they're not even playing like, nice either. They're snapping and talking shit to everybody who they encounter. So it's just like, what do they expect to accomplish?
Yeah. I mean, if these 4 people, even if they are, novices at the whole politics deal and everything else, if they are able, through their own savvy and their own arm twisting or whatever else, and however way they do it, if they're able to leverage their popularity into gaining more allies on a particular vote or a particular cause, and then they become more than just 4 votes, well, more power to them. Yay, politics. But unless or until they do that, they're still just 4 votes, even if you call them the squad or the mod squad or anything else. That's all they are, and that's all they've got.
Well, didn't they refer to themselves as like this little clique or whatever? Like, weren't they like taking pictures together and fucking calling themselves all kinds of nicknames and shit?
Real quick, thank you, James Colley. Wouldn't you love for Nancy Pelosi to say, stay in your lane, cunts? Yeah. She's basically, that's basically what she did, more or less. But just reminding them that, you have 1 vote each. And it's like, again, she basically said, it doesn't matter how many Twitter followers you have. It doesn't matter how much exposure you have in the media. If you've only got 4 votes, when it comes down to legislation, you've got 4 votes.
Yeah.
The end. That's how our system works. It's a popularity contest to get into office, but that's where the water's edge is.
So that's what I'm trying to figure. Like, are they saying it's dangerous because they might get a fucking clue and be like, oh shit, what we're doing is stupid. Maybe we should actually do what we're supposed to be doing.
Let me see where we get to the dangerous part. Okay, America is becoming an increasingly hostile place for women.
Oh God! Fuck
they just got elected. Okay, increasingly hostile place for women and for people of color. Pelosi's constant public attacks against the 4 newly elected women of color aren't just disrespectful, they're dangerous. Whether she means to or not, her repeated insinuations that the squad are rabble-rousing upstarts who are undermining the Democratic Party. Did you quote her as saying that?
No, but what they've left out so far is the reason why Pelosi said that. Why Pelosi went to the news and said that is because Alexandria and her 3 little morons have been running around talking shit about Democrats on Twitter.
Yeah. So, they are undermining the Democratic Party because they're showing, don't get me wrong, it's one of those things where it's sort of like a known truth that they're trying to just sort of sugarcoat. No political party is completely in lockstep, right? No political party is entirely unified all the time. But you want to make people think on the outside that it is. You keep your dirty laundry private. So if you've got dissent in the Democratic Party, you keep it behind closed doors. You try to hash out things. But to the public, and especially to the opposing party, you give the appearance of a unified front. In a time where you've got 20 plus presidential candidates on the Democratic side, all vying to be the number 1 pick, all having to basically scratch and claw at each other to gain any ground, the last thing you need is for the backbench to also be dissing everybody while you're trying to find a leader for the party. So she's not wrong to be criticizing them for their behavior, and she's not wrong to be pointing out the reality of their lack of overall power. So it's not, it's about their race and their gender.
Well,
oh Jesus!
But like I said, this is self-inflicted bullshit. This is one of those self-prophesized things that they created. Because when they came out and they were talking about, women of color on the scene, and they were calling themselves their little group, their little clique or whatever, everybody's like, she's singling them out. It's like, no, almost everything they do in unison. And they constantly keep talking about why they're so much more significant because they are women of color, and why they should be listened to, and why they have good ideas, and all the articles writing about them. You can hardly hear about one of them without hearing about the other. So it's like, y'all put yourselves in that position. You set your public identity as this group of, politicians of color, and that's what you want it to be recognized of. And now you're all being addressed as such because all of you bitches are on the same page all the time. And now you're like, oh, get the fuck out of it, man. Anyway,
this also ignores that Pelosi told them. She didn't just say, shut up, bitches. She said, if you have issues, bring them to me, not into the public.
Right. Exactly.
So it's not like she said, I'm not listening to anything you say. She said, handle this the right way.
Yeah. It's handling it professionally, which these newcomers are not handling like. I mean,
because they think they're in high school. They the squad, yo.
Yeah. It's we're gonna storm the castle. Oh, yes. We're going to change things around here. Like, no. You're
gonna snapping back.
Yeah, no, you're going to find out real quick that is not how you play politics. You don't play politics out and loud. You play politics behind the scenes. You make alliances. You make compromises. You have to talk to people and get on their good side. Now, Nancy Pelosi says, if you've got problems, come talk to me. But I'll tell you what, you come talk to her now in private, she's going to have a hell of a lot less incentive to want to work with you after everything else you've pulled. And so will everybody else in your party. Mm-hmm. So, because you can't be trusted. I mean, good God, do you think that if they actually went behind the closed doors, any one of these four, and made a deal with someone to get something done, or made an alliance with someone and did a little horse trading in order to get a vote or here or there, do you think they'd keep quiet about it?
Oh, hell no.
Hell no.
No, they'd be standing on the rooftops going off, I was able to do this, and this. And like, okay, nobody's going to ever want to work with you again because you can't keep things private. You can't keep things a little under the radar, professional, subdued. Because sometimes that's what you need to do to get politics done. It's a sad fact, but it's an absolutely true fact. So anyway. I could go on, but we're talking too much. This one comes from Massive Dynamics. Let's see if we can find some stories that don't have too much extra. Oh, man, these ones so far. Oklahoma man arrested in stolen car with snake, uranium, a gun, and whiskey.
Okay.
What?
Which one was he eating? An Oklahoma man was arrested last month after police say a routine traffic stop turned up a gun, a rattlesnake, an open bottle of whiskey, and a rod of radioactive uranium. Okay. Stephen Jennings was charged with possession of a stolen vehicle, transporting an open container of liquor, and driving with a suspended license after police initially pulled him over on June 26th for having expired tags. There's nothing illegal about having a rod of uranium. Guthrie Police Public Information Officer Sergeant Anthony Gibbs told Fox News on Friday that during the stop, officers discovered Jennings was driving without a license and did not have proof of insurance for the black Ford Explorer he was stopped in. Police arrested the man and proceeded to tell law enforcement there was a handgun in the vehicle. Backup was called and a firearm was reportedly located in the glove compartment. Police also said they found an open bottle of whiskey. Right. Where's the uranium? After making the arrest, police began the process of impounding the SUV when they noticed a terrarium in the back seat. Only then, a terrarium, like a big glass box. Only then further inspection revealed that Jennings was in possession of a timber rattlesnake that was directly next to powdered uranium. Why did he have uranium? Gibbs said that the man joked with arresting officers he was actually planning to build a super snake before explaining that he scraps metal for a living and got the uranium from a rod taken out of an instrument meant to detect radiation. You're trying to breed a mutant snake by putting radiation next to it.
He was trying to become Snake Man.
Did you ever see Dreamscape, movie from the 80s?
Not that I recall.
It had Dennis Quaid in it. It was that movie scared the shit out of me as a kid because there's this part. Basically, it's a story about these secret government project where people like enter people's dreams, kind of thing. Is kind of a, if Nightmare on Elm Street were weaponized after a fashion, to go into people's dreams and like spy on them and get information. And Dennis Quaid is like the good dream guy, and there's like a bad dream guy. And the bad dream guy goes into other people's minds, and at one point he turns into a big cobra snake monster. And if I remember correctly, the transition between him being a human-looking person and a snake monster is like this really cheesy stop-motion claymation thing. But when I was a kid, it scared the absolute hell out of me. I had nightmares, which is probably the point. Anyway, nobody remembers Dreamscape. Probably not. Let's see. This is a good story. Thankfully, this one comes from Angry Illinois, and I saw the video of this earlier today. A deputy pulled over a car for speeding. That traffic stop saved a 12-day-old baby's life. When Deputy Will Kimbrough stopped a car for speeding last month, he didn't know he would end up saving a newborn's life. The dramatic episode, which took place during a routine patrol in Berkeley County, South Carolina on June 11th, was caught on a newly released video recorded by the officer's body camera. As Kimbrough stopped the vehicle, the driver got out of the car and shouted that the baby stopped breathing after drinking from a bottle. Her body was limp and bluish from a lack of oxygen. After asking the mother, who was sitting on the passenger seat, for the baby's name, the deputy put the baby on her lap, checks the pulse, and starts massaging her heart as part of life-saving first aid. Quote, "Come on, baby, cry for me," he can be heard saying. "Open those eyes, sweetheart." As the baby starts crying, Kimbrough says, "As long as she's crying like that, she's breathing. I want you to cry. Come on. I think she's going to be okay. She's breathing," the officer says to reassure the mother. He keeps performing CPR because her breathing goes on and off, Kimbrough says in the video. Finally, the baby's chest starts moving, meaning that she's breathing again on her own. An emergency medical team arrives, and Kimbrough and the mother recount what has happened. The baby was taken to a local hospital for observation and released. Quote, "As far as we know, the baby has been doing well," Drayton said. Quote, because of Deputy Kimbrough's steadfast, professional, and heroic response, 12-day-old baby was able to live, the sheriff's office said on Facebook. Kimbrough was awarded a medal for his heroic actions. So there. Yay, baby.
Okay.
Good job, Officer Kimbrough. Yay, baby. Froggy also sent us the Uranium Snake Man story, so thank you. Oh, boy, we're talking about parents putting their children in danger, possibly being separated from their families. This one comes from senior staff reporter and chief Florida correspondent Colleen Bernier. And we'll probably end with this one, guys. Sorry. Mom charged after letting daughters ride in inflatable pool on SUV roof.
Wow.
That was smart.
Dixon, Illinois. An Illinois woman has been charged after she was caught driving around town with an inflatable pool with children in it on her SUV's roof. Jennifer A. Janice Yeager, 49, of Dixon, Illinois, was spotted driving down Peoria Avenue Bridge with children inside of a pool that was on the roof of her vehicle. A concerned citizen called police to report what they had just witnessed. Officers searched the area near the bridge and saw a white Audi Q5 driving westbound on Illinois Route 2 with a pool on the roof and 2 children inside of the pool. Officers conducted a traffic stop on the vehicle, and during their investigation, Yeager told police that she drove into town to inflate the pool at a friend's house and had her 2 daughters ride inside of the empty pool in order to hold it down on their drive home.
That's a smart mom.
After her explanation, officers arrested her and charged her with 2 counts of endangering the health or life of a child and 2 counts of reckless conduct. She was also cited for failure to secure a passenger of the age of 8 and under the age of 16. Yeager was taken to the Dixon Police Department where she was processed and then released once she posted bond. You are the biggest of idiots. Okay. You don't bring like bungee cord or something just to tie it down to the roof. No, you're going to have your kids sit in it and reach over on either side of the pool and like hold on to the inside of the windows or something.
Probably didn't even do that much. Probably just had him sit.
Moron.
Listen here, you little son of bitches. This here pool is more important in your life, so you make sure I don't fly off there. I'm gonna speed up.
Evolved Potato wants both of you to check your Streamlabs.
Oh. Thank you. Let me see.
Streamlabs.
Vash the Stampedo.
Oh shit! This is not the right Streamlabs website.
How many do you have?
Well, I clicked on the one, like I clicked the little drop down, and I clicked on the one where like you go to donate to me, and I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Thank you, Evolved Potato. It says, is that 3% for money made in France or 3% in global profits? I don't know.
Well, yeah, that's well, maybe it said somewhere in the story it was a longer story, but if it's revenue total, that's a lot of money. If it's profits posted in France, that's still probably a lot of money, but not as much as globally. Sure.
I swear to God, and this I could be wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure that every Streamlabs that Evolved Potato has ever sent me has only been to tell Monkey to check his. I could be wrong, but Monkey, your lack of checking your Streamlabs makes me money.
Well, I usually don't open it up on other people's nights.
Yeah, because donations don't come in on other people's.
All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for the story. Sorry I didn't get to too many, but some of those just set us all off, and them's the breaks sometimes. But yeah, I know that sometimes Monkey goes over MSS News for Monkey in the morning, so maybe you'll see yours there. But now on to YouTube time. So I'll go first because I have a brief thing. So I did a video earlier this week or last week or whatever from a lady with a company called, sorry?
Data's joke in chat there. I didn't mean to say that out loud.
She wanted to use the carpool lane. Oh, dude, are you the new Cryptic? Damn, dude, nice.
The
carpool lane. Oh, man. If Cryptic's in the chat and he missed out on that one, oh boy, he's kicking himself now. So I did a video. The lady that compared said racism is to white people as hip hop is to black people.
Oh,
so so she did that video actually like 9 months ago or something, but I just came across it randomly. Well, she posted a new video to her channel today to explain very briefly the difference between implicit and explicit discrimination or bias. Sorry, bias. And as though really any thinking person needs to know what the difference is, but she felt the need to explain it. And it's like a 3-minute long video. And as I watched, I thought to myself, I should just mash this up with that other video, shouldn't I? Like, let me explain to you what implicit bias is. And then put in the thing where she says, ask the question, whether or not people of color can be racist. That's implying something. And then explicit bias. Racism is to white people as hip-hop is to black people. I just felt like a quick little mashup would be a nice touch. I don't know. Maybe I'm being too snarky. Hard to tell. Anyway, that's an idea I have. We'll see. Thank you, James Colley. I got to surprise Satsu. Go forth and find it, LOL. I think you need to check your Streamlabs, Satsu.
I'm looking at my Streamlabs already, so it ain't that.
Okay. Well, maybe it takes a second to get there. I don't know. Yeah. So otherwise, the other thing I wanted to plug is Tailed Feature. He made this brief but very, very entertaining little promo video teasing the TEDx talk I believe he's working on with the Lindsay from Queer Kids Stuff, who did a TEDx talk. Because when I saw this, I forget, I think it was God, I forget who it was that sent that to me. Somebody tweeted me that TEDx talk and say, "Hey, Scribe, you should take a look at this." And as soon as I saw it, I was like, "Oh, no. This has got to be Tail's realm," because he's the one that kind of discovered queer kid stuff for the entire world, basically. But yeah, he produced this great little nightmare promo for that video. So if you haven't seen it, first off, if you don't know Tailed Feature, go look him up on YouTube, look up his channel. But certainly, I retweeted out the video. Certainly watch this little promo. He put a lot of work into this. He tweeted me afterwards. He says, I put so much time into making that. And I said, it totally paid off, dude. It's funny as hell. So watch that. Other than that, yeah, I don't have any other YouTube stuff. Satsu?
What did I do today? Oh, I didn't really do anything today. I got a video that's supposed to be slated to upload tomorrow, and I did a stream earlier on 2 Cents Plus playing Cooking Simulator, fucking around on there, it started off kind of bad, but then it picked up. I figured out what was going on with my streaming situation, and I got to stream for about 2 hours after I fixed the issue with very little issue, and I had a bunch of fun. I'm having fun playing that game and enjoying that series. Outside of that, like I said, I got a video slated to come out tomorrow. It's already in the queue and ready to be watched at the premiere. I think it's at 6 p.m. tomorrow or something like that. And me and Squishy are gonna record, from the looks of it, probably about 6 videos tomorrow, because tomorrow's her day off, and I've been waiting for her to have another day off so we could finish reviewing some of the stuff in this box. Plus, I got a couple other things that I want to work on while she's here too. So. Lots of stuff. I'm gonna have a super busy day tomorrow, but you guys will have a video coming out, so awesome, win-win.
Okay, yeah, I watched a little bit of your cooking stream and floor food, lots and lots of floor food. Yeah, that piece of asparagus. There's no 5-second rule, Satsu. No, not in reality. But anyway, Monkey, what were you up to today?
I did a monkey in the morning. That's it. And we'll be doing our game stream right after this over on 2 Cents Plus.
Yep, I stopped into that this morning too and said hello. Let's see. So with that out of the way, internet fucketry. Well, first off, I saw the strangest crossover I think I've ever seen. It was a video of Jeff Holiday and Weebo Jones going down a slide together at VidCon.
Oh.
I was like, oh my gosh. You know, we almost have like an Avengers movie here. We just need to have him, Weebo, and SDA, and anybody else? Oh yeah, and I Think I'm Real is there too. All of them in like the same shot or something. Be like, oh my God, where's Ultron? So that was entertaining. I hope they're having a good time. I hope we all at some point get to have a meetup somehow, some way. That'd be really cool. Aside from that, other internet fucketry. Well, there's a great little video of a kid dressed up in cosplaying as an influencer apology video at VidCon. I can't really describe it any better than that. I've retweeted out on my Twitter feed. It's brilliant. It's hilarious. Go take a look. Other than that, oh yeah, this is a story, a real quick one that AP tweeted out. A Colorado state email account created to report suspected child abuse and neglect went unchecked for over 4 years. 5 possible cases are now being investigated. And all I had to say to that was derp.
Huh.
So good job, Colorado. Oh yeah, and this tweet from Kamala Harris. Several people made this observation, but the one I retweeted was from Shoe on Head. Kamala Harris said this: "Women and women of color deserve to have a seat at the table where decisions are made, and finally, that's a reality in major cities across our nation." And Shoe, and again several other people, said, "Women and women of color," as though these are 2 separate things. Yeah.
They are 2 separate things.
Just so you know, there's women and then there's women of color. It's a gradient kind of thing.
That's right.
Other than, oh yeah, and then the last thing was the Washington Post had a analysis/opinion piece that was headlined, "How White Supremacy Shaped the Original Census Centuries Before the Citizenship Debate." And I said, yeah, remember everyone, things in the past were terrible. Nothing has changed since then. And everything that has changed and all efforts to make that change are easily dismissed. Also, the census isn't going to be changed. Thus, witness the infallible power of white supremacy. Yeah. So that was my fucketry, such as it was. Satsu, what do you got?
Oh God, that tweet you just read annoyed me. I'm sorry. I'm sick of this thing that was bad fucking hundreds of years ago. It relates to this thing now. Like, no, they're not related, man. Stop. Why do people keep doing that stupid shit?
Because it's lazy. It's easy.
It is, and it's also annoying. Every fucking time I see it, it just irritates the shit out of me. I did see, was it Jermaine Dupri piss some female rappers off today, mainly Nicki Minaj, because he was talking about the lack of substance when it comes to female rap, and the fact that basically all the popular female rappers right now are just strippers who rap about their pussies.
Huh. Oh, I saw that. Yeah,
which is pretty much true. Like it kind of is true, and a lot of people like, that's not fair to say, and that's not true. What about men or whatever? And when they were talking about Nicki Minaj's her retort to that, they were speaking like she denied it, but she didn't. She didn't deny it. She said, yes, this is true. But the only reason that we do this is because when we talk about real shit or things that ain't about us being hoes, y'all don't listen. And we don't get credit, and we're not on the top of the chart. So this is what y'all listen to. This is what y'all want to hear. So this is the music that we make. And I'm like, I mean, that's an argument. But then again, I'm looking at the male rap industry right now, and it's fucking hoes doing drugs, killing other black people, and buying pointless shit. Like that's pretty much it for the most part. And you got the fringe people who trying to like get back into that old school vibe where they talk about things that are relevant, or even try to have like a positive message, and those people are generally shunned in the rap community, with the exception of a certain few. So I'm just like, I don't think nobody really has the right to be pointing fingers right now. Like, none of y'all should be pointing at anybody about fucking substance when it comes to modern day rap music, because there's very little to go around. Very little room for anybody to be pointing fingers. But I thought that was interesting because, people got to be stupid. That's Twitter. And what was it? There was one other thing that I saw. Where is it? Oh, I made a prediction. Also, that I'd like to keep track of, but I don't know if I have the attention span to actually keep track of it. But I know there are going to be some Democratic presidential candidates who might try to avoid criticizing candidates of color directly for the sake of being called racist. But I'm making a prediction that no matter what their background or track record is, if any white Democratic presidential candidate says anything negative or criticizes them negatively, any candidate of color, they will immediately be a racist. And I'm thinking that's going to be the card every time. I'd like to believe that won't be the case, but come on, it's already starting at this point. So no matter what their political background is, or what their base is, what the things that they advocate for, and the things that they're fighting for, the moment they criticize somebody who's a pigment darker than them, then we got to talk about how racist they are. So I'm not going to bet any money because I'm broke, but I would if I had it. Because I'm almost certain it's going to happen. I'll have to look again and see if any of them have gone and like directly went after them yet, but I haven't seen any cases of that unless you guys have. Outside of fucking Biden, who's already, he's
well. I mean, Nancy Pelosi's being called a racist because she was criticizing Ocasio-Cortez. You had the guy in the hearing today trying to accuse the ICE, the Homeland Security guy or whatever, of being a racist because he didn't care about the children that were in danger at the border because they don't look like his children, etc. So yeah, no, it is apparently fair game to just immediately use that, whether there's evidence of anything or not, whether you can make that claim in any way, shape, or form or not. Just sort of make the implication or the direct insinuation, and that's fair. Apparently.
Yeah, I just think it's going to be interesting that every single white Democratic candidate, by the end of by the home stretch of this election, is going to have that this person is racist story.
Yeah, I would be surprised if that was a accusation made directly by another candidate on the stage, so to speak, but from their surrogates or their supporters, wouldn't be surprised at all. Yeah. I mean, Kamala Harris all but said that to Biden on that stage, but she didn't make that direct accusation. So I guess we'll wait and see, because, it's a whole like, oh, he messed around with segregationists, implying that somehow because he was working with segregationists, therefore he supports segregationists, which is bullshit. But that was what they went after, she and Booker. So I guess we'll see.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if any of them make it out of this, like all the way to the end without being called a racist.
Oh, doubtful.
I also watched your video today, Scribe.
Oh, which one?
Your Bernie Sanders video.
Oh, Bernie Sanders, yeah.
Yeah, and it was almost like watching the debate again, hearing him, because I believe he was asked a similar question to that during the debate about the well, not that specific question, but it was like what are your plans? Like, how do you plan on executing them? And he said something to the effect that, it's political movements and groups that get stuff done, and that's what we're trying to do, or some shit like that. It was something along the line. It was like a non-answer. Like, I'm not going to, basically what it translated to me is, I'm not going to do anything. So I'm not breaking any promises. I don't plan on doing anything that I say I'm going to do. People are going to do it for me because they're going to rally and they're going to get it done. Right. That's what it sounded like the answer was. Like, I'm not going to do shit. So I'm not worried about overpromising because I'm not going to do anything.
Yeah. And, I understand that politicians give non-answers all the time, but this was such a very specific one to him. I mean, he was criticized for overpromising in the last election. And so the idea that that over that entire time, he didn't have either a canned answer for that kind of question, or hadn't apparently spent any time reflecting on what the implications of all his promises actually mean if he did get in the White House, that he would give such a complete non-responsive answer in one way, but in another way, a completely undermining answer, because he just entirely diffused the notion that his promises mean anything. Yeah. And it's really surprising to me that he would be so dense in one sense, but also so self-destructive in the other. So yeah, it was just interesting. And like I said, I learned of the many ways how to not answer a question watching the Democratic debate. But that made me wonder, like, how could anybody, like, on some really honest and straight up shit, hear that response to that question and be like, I want to vote for this person. Yep. And that was really the key for me at that point. I was like, that, because the title of the video, like I said, piqued my curiosity over anything else he had to say, and that answer was just like, okay. Not that I was all that enthused about, if I even had the opportunity, voting for Bernie. I didn't vote for him I didn't vote for anybody in the last one. But after that kind of answer and that kind of self-reflection, like, no, you just undercut your entire campaign.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else, Satsu?
That's it. I'm done.
Monkey.
Yeah, I don't have anything. I was asleep all day.
Oh, you're no fun. You have to catch up. A lot of stuff happened today.
Catch up.
All right. You and your food. Okay. Well, then, I suppose we can do a couple Mad Libs.
A lad mib?
Yeah. Whoops, wrong thing. Okay. So, again, I got to look at these and say to myself, did I already do this one? Let's see. What is... Because I got this list, and I don't think they update it very often, if at all. So, okay, I'm pretty sure I've never done this one. Okay, so guys, chat. Here is what I need from you. I need 2 different plural nouns and the name of a town. So I need plural, for the sake of how they've got it numbered here, I need plural noun number 2, plural noun number 3, and the name of a town. So be sure to put those into chat and just make them individual chats. I mean, you don't have to number them plural noun 2 and 3. I'll just go for plural nouns in general. But plural noun, I need 2 plural nouns and the name of a town. So Satsu, give me an adjective.
Sweaty.
All right. Monkey, give me an adjective.
Warm.
Warm, okay. Satsu, need another adjective.
Disingenuous.
Ooh. Interesting. Okay. All right. Monkey, I need a noun.
Codpiece.
Satsu, I need a noun.
Nipple ring.
Monkey, I need another noun.
Assless chaps.
I see where this is going. Satsu, I need a plural nationality.
Plural
so
nationality.
like Canadians, Mexicans, something like that.
Argonians.
Lizard people? Okay.
That's right.
And monkey, I need a plural noun.
Donkeys.
Donkeys. All right, on to chat. Like I said, this is a short one, relatively speaking. Scrolling up, let's see. Plural noun. Angela Arriaga says shoes. Sure, why not? Shoes. And another plural noun. Sarah Plyer says wine glasses. Right. And lastly, the name of a town. Oh, what town shall we go for here? Mr. Moose says Victorville. Sure. I've heard of that name before. I'm not quite sure where it is. Let's see. Now I got to get this. Okay. Sorry, guys. I got to click the right button here or else the whole thing falls apart. Okay. This one is called Charlemagne. Not Charlemagne the god, just Charlemagne, the historical figure. Charlemagne was the sweaty king of Franks and Argonians. In 800 AD, he was crowned Emperor of the Holy Roman Codpiece by Pope Leo III. He was born in 742. His father was Pepin the Warm, and his grandfather was Charles the Nipple Ring. Charlemagne converted thousands of Saxons who were assless chaps worshippers to Christianity. He converted them by cutting off their donkeys and setting fire to their shoes. In 778, he invaded Spain, but was defeated by the Moors at Victorville. Charlemagne was uneducated, but he had great respect for education and established many warm schools. He was known for the justice of his wine glasses and his kindness to disingenuous people.
Huh.
And there's somebody there's this one person in this show that is directly by lineage related to Charlemagne.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Nearly every white person living is related to Charlemagne in some way, because most Europeans, in one way, shape, or form, can trace their line back to Charlemagne.
So.
Yeah, so it's a scientifically proven fact. You can Charlemagne is like a unifying figure to a lot of our genetic lineage. Anyone who's had family originate in one way, shape, or form from Europe is probably related in some way to Charlemagne in the modern days. Yeah. Okay, well, we'll do another one because that one was kind of funny. Probably maybe not the best one, but we'll see. Let's go for one more historical figure. No, that's way too short. We need more words than that. What about this one? Oh, there we go. Okay, so chat, I need a plural noun and two different verbs, because I've got plural noun, I've got verb 1 and verb 2. So I need a plural noun, two different verbs. A monkey, I need an adjective.
Deadly.
Deadly. Satsu, I need an adjective.
Broken.
Okay. Monkey, I need an adjective.
We haven't done crusty in a while. Let's do crusty.
Okay. Satsu, I need another adjective. And this will be the last adjective.
Hideous.
Okay. Monkey, I need an exclamation.
Dagnabbit.
Dagnabbit. All right. Satsu, I need a noun.
Donuts.
Or how about donut, since it's not a plural noun? Okay. Monkey, I need another noun.
Spaceship.
Spaceship. Satsu, I need another noun.
Thought whistle.
Thought whistle, like internet thought?
Yes.
Okay. Monkey, I need a past tense verb.
Crucified.
Ooh.
Oh.
Satsu, I need a plural noun.
Assault rifles.
All right, and just a warning, it's plural nouns all the way down for the rest of it. Monkey, I need another plural noun.
Honkies.
Honkies. Satsu, I need a plural noun.
Assault knives.
Assault knives.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now on to chat for plural noun. Let's see. Ebony Williams says slippers. Sure. Why not?
Scribe. Just an FYI, you should be happy I said that one because after Monkey said hunkies, I was gonna say Negroes. But I'm just
Jesus. Well, now you did say it, didn't you?
Well, you don't have to say it, so
Chicago Mike says for verb writing. Okay, writing. I can get behind that. And last verb. Ooh, Terry Diamantis. Excrete. All right. All right, so now we're moving on to this one's called A Charming Story with a Happy Ending.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. Once upon a donut, there were 3 little pigs. The first little pig was very deadly, and he built a house for himself out of assault rifles.
Clearly.
Wow, clearly.
That worked. The second little pig was broken, and he built a house out of honkies. But the third little pig was very crusty, and he built his house out of genuine assault knives. Well, one day, a mean old wolf came along and saw the houses. Dag nabbit, he said, I'll write and I'll excrete and I'll blow your house down. And he blew down the first little pig's spaceship and the second little pig's slippers. The 2 little pigs ran to the third pig's house. Thereupon, the wolf began blowing, but he couldn't blow down the third little pig's thought whistle house. So he crucified off into the forest and left the 3 little hideous pigs. And the 3 little hideous pigs moved to Chicago and went into the sausage business.
What?
That is the story as they wrote it. The first little pig was deadly and built his house out of assault rifles. That worked way too well.
Indeed.
Let's see. We got time, I think, for one quick one. So let me find that one that I dodged earlier because it was too short. Which one? There it is. Okay. So chat, I need 2 nouns and a, oh boy, I don't think I've seen this before, a superlative adjective. You guys know what a superlative adjective is?
Nope.
So, like it's an adjective that describes more than one thing. So, that is the stinkiest pig in the pen. Stinkiest, you know.
Oh,
or something like that. Yeah. So if you're describing more than a couple of things, like of this group.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Of this collection of things. So I need 2 nouns and a superlative adjective. Satsu, I need a regular adjective.
Horny.
Horny. Okay. Monkey, I need an adjective.
Diseased.
Oh God. Excuse me. Satsu, I need another adjective.
Emaciated.
Jeez. Monkey, I need an adverb.
Quietly.
Satsu, I need the name of a celebrity.
Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Bill Nye the Science Guy. Okay. Monkey, I need the name of a different celebrity.
Mozart.
Satsu, I just need the name of a person.
A person?
Just like a regular old person, I guess.
Oh man, I don't know no people.
Yeah.
Fuck. Charlie Brown.
Charlie. Okay, I'll say Charlie.
Charlie.
Monkey. Oh, sorry. No, that's now we're into chat. Sorry, that's like I said, it was a short one. Okay, so moving on. A noun. Let's see. Who haven't I called on previously? Oh, Mr. No, I did that one before. No One Nowhere just says person. A person, place, or thing. That's a bit too literal, but okay. A person is a noun. That's true. Second noun. Oh, No One Nowhere is just doing that all over the place. Okay, fine. Jesse the Fennec Fox says a kitten. I can do a kitten. And lastly, a superlative adjective. Who gave me a superlative adjective? Ooh, Shrouded Angel says deadliest. I like that. Deadliest. All right. This one is called Elizabeth the First. Elizabeth, the Tudor person of England, was probably the deadliest ruler the British ever had. Elizabeth was the daughter of Henry VIII and Anne Boleyn. Later, Anne had her kitten chopped off by Henry.
Oh.
Elizabeth was born in 1533 and became queen when she was 25. She was a horny Protestant and persecuted the diseased Catholics quietly. That worked way too well.
Yeah.
And now my phone's beeping at me, which isn't a good sign. I'll deal with that later. In 1588, the Armada attacked England, but the English fleet, commanded by Bill Nye the Science Guy and Mozart, defeated them. Elizabeth ruled for 45 years, and during her reign, England prospered and produced Shakespeare, Francis Bacon, and Charlie. Elizabeth never married, which is why she is sometimes called the Emaciated Queen.
Oh.
Yeah. All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for your suggestions and everything else. But now it's on to question time from you. So if you have questions, comments, complaints, conspiracy theories, concerns, compliments, any other C words I can come up with, conundrums, put them into the chat now. If you have questions for us directly, please put plenty of chat marks after those. If you have statements for us to consider, please put plenty of statement marks after those. If you don't know what I was talking about, watch the show and watch your fellow chat members, and you might get some context clues. Ebony Williams says, which element would you want to control? Water, earth, air, fire? You left out heart. I'd want to control heart because then I can make people love each other.
Is heart an element?
Well, it's the fifth element.
I feel like it's not.
Well, actually, I should say love is the fifth element, but, same difference. And for those of you out there that know what I was just talking about, good on you. Satsu, do you have a choice?
What was the question again? I'm sorry.
Which element would you want to control? Earth, air, wind, or fire?
I have I've gone back and forth on these quite a few times. But,
sorry, water, not air and wind. Sorry, water.
Probably wind.
Okay. Did you have a choice, Monkey, except for saying that love isn't an element?
Fire. I'd like to set people ablaze with just a thought.
So you want to be Drew Barrymore when she was like 4?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just like how versatile air is.
Let's see. Mr. Moose says, Scribe Light, where do you find the Mad Libs? There's a little Mad Libs online site called, it's Mad Libs, but it's on a site called redkid.net. And they just have a whole bunch of different Mad Libs there.
I'll be right back, gentlemen.
Okay. Let's see. El Vaquero 555. What are your thoughts on Epstein being an intel agency's asset? Is that an allegation? I have no idea. I had not heard that one. So if that's true, I don't know. Which intel agency and how is he an asset? And that's obviously not protecting him now. So I don't know. Is there some notion that he got the sweetheart deal because he was doing work for the intelligence agencies or something? I don't know. Scriblade, did you forget about the emotional support pig? Oh, wow, that story might have been in MSS News, but I didn't come across it in time. Sorry. But I did forget about it because, a lot of other things go through my mind when I'm doing a show. Celtic Mandalore, Scriblade, did you all ever talk about Lee Iacocca's death at the beginning of the month? We did mention it, yep. when it happened. I don't think we dwelled too long on it, but we did mention it when it happened. Duck Dog, do you have an ex-wife in Mayor's Income, Tennessee? No, that is a very specific question. So, do you guys have any ex-wives in Mayor's Income, Tennessee?
I have no ex-wives.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've never been married, so yeah. Pissed Off Shih Tzu says, "What is chat marks?" Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. Now you know. And knowing is a continually disappointing experience. Mata Winter, Lords of the Night, when did Scribe become a furry? The answer is never.
4 days, you missed it.
Yeah, it happened so fast I didn't even notice, I guess.
Where'd the furry thing come from?
I don't know. Old Grouchy Gamer, hey Monkey, who left the Nerf gun in the bathroom?
Probably Lil Butt.
Yeah, sounds like her.
He does.
Jay Buston, anyone still keeping up with the Cult of Dusty? I've never, as far as I know, I've never actually listened to the man. I've heard the name.
Dusty ain't even keeping up with himself.
No.
Angela Arriaga says, multipass. Yes. Multipass, the fifth element. Jesse Defendant Fox, who would you rather fight, Bruce Willis or Chuck Norris? Like today or at their peak? Because at their peak, Bruce Willis, if I had to choose between the two, because Chuck Norris could kick an elephant's ass down around the block. I'd still get my ass kicked either way, but I'd probably get it kicked less by Bruce Willis.
He'd charm you while he kicked your ass.
Back in the moonlighting days, probably. Yeah. Do you have a preference, Monkey?
Probably Bruce Willis. Either way.
Hayden White says, "Love is a battlefield." Scribe Light. Yes, it's a battlefield. It's also the fifth element. Love is a mini splendored thing. Ha 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 ha. Let's see. W.R. Costin. Sorry, Emperor W.R. Costin. Is Mia Jovovich nice to look at while watching movies starring Bruce Willis as a cab driver? She's nice to look at sometimes, like depending on what role she's in and how she's dressed or whatever. I didn't find her particularly attractive in any of the Resident Evil movies. She was kind of cute in Fifth Element. But yeah, I don't know. I guess it depends. Do you guys find Mila Jovovich attractive?
Yeah, I think she's pretty cute. Her body ain't the greatest. Like she's a super skinny chick. But,
yeah, she's a bit too thin for my taste. Not in a bad way, but just just a bit too much.
Yeah, I've seen her completely naked. I'm like, she's all right.
I don't know who she is.
If you saw a picture of her, you'd know. Old Grouchy Gamer, thank you. Get yourself some Dr. Pepper and Goldfish. Well, I think I just might. Thank you so much. Let's see. El Vicaro says, supposedly Acosta, as in Alexander Acosta, was told to back off Epstein because he was intelligence and got the wrist slap in Florida, according to Vicky Ward. Okay, well, I don't know who Vicky Ward is, but I hadn't heard that there was some rumor that he was some kind of intelligent asset. Somehow, I don't think a pedophile being an intelligence asset is a good look. But I don't know. So that's the first I've heard of this. Have you guys heard of anything like that, Monkey or Satsu?
I saw some people saying that online. I haven't seen any proof or reason to believe that, but yeah. I really haven't looked into it either.
Mr. Moo asks, Scribe Light, who is the politician you loathe the most? Probably Hitler. I mean, I understand it's a low-hanging fruit answer, but if I had to think of a politician I loathe the most, probably him. I don't know. Talking about like living politicians of today, I don't know. I mean, short of one being convicted of an actual horrible crime, I don't know that I loathe any politicians, or because loathe is just this side of hatred, and I really don't hate anybody per se. I'm not fond of a whole slew of people, but yeah, I can't think of a politician I loathe in particular. So yeah, I guess that's my answer. Ebony Williams, who would make a better assassin, Patrick Starr or Carmen Sandiego? Carmen Sandiego, you'd never see her coming. She's got all the sneakiness. That's my opinion.
Don't underestimate the power of an idiot, though. Just saying.
That's all true. Yeah, you could underestimate Patrick Starr as being an assassin. Otto Winter asks, would we rather have a pygmy elephant or a giant squirrel as a pet?
I'll take the pygmy elephant.
Yeah, the giant squirrel's got claws, and I don't want it going after my nuts.
Neither.
Yeah. You can stop a small squirrel from going after your nuts. You cannot stop a giant one.
Chicago Mike, what band or musician was your first concert? Oh, first actual concert? And I'm going to set aside going to like little kid concert things. It was the band James. Who did that song? This bed is on fire with passion and love. Those guys.
Mm-hmm.
I saw them in concert. That was like when I was in junior high or something. So yeah, you guys have. I think that might have been one of the few concerts I've been to. You don't know, Satsu?
The only actual like real concert that I remember going to, I got taken to, and it was like a Christian rock concert. And believe it or not, it was actually pretty fucking awesome. I was like, oh god, that was actually pretty cool. I didn't want to go. I was like, why? Why would I want to go to that? And they're like, just, you ain't got nothing better to do. And I'm like, all right, fuck it. And then I went and I was like, holy shit, that was awesome.
Let's see. Jay Buzzton says, Satsu, did you hear that Dusty and Creationist Cat tried to do a weekly live show, but they turned on each other and it stopped after the first episode?
That sounds absolutely like something that would happen. I didn't hear about it, nor do I care, but it definitely sounds like something that happened.
Mr. Monopoly asks Scribe Light, who is Kovu's father, Simba or Scar?
Kovu.
I don't even know who Kovu is. So
that was the kid from Lion King 2, I think.
Oh, I never watched The Lion King 2. So I have no idea. Just for scandal's sake, Scar. Sure, why not? He's dead. Who cares?
But Simba and Nala are brother and sister.
Let's see. Are they?
Yeah, if they weren't, one of them would have been dead.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's only one leader of a pride.
Let's see. Dom O'Leary asks, Lords of the Night, what band or musician did you last see in concert? Oh, God.
I don't know.
I'm trying to
go
think.
To concerts, really.
It was the Midnight. Those guys that do the 80s retro stuff. I saw them.
It was the Temptations.
Ooh. Are any of the original members still alive?
I don't remember if any of them were original or not. No, there's a place in Michigan called Idlewild. They have the Idlewild Music Festival. It used to actually be a really huge thing. Like all of the top Motown artists go there, or that they used to. And now it's kind of a small little thing. And yeah, they have. I saw the whitest dancing I've ever seen in my life there, but that lady was having fun and the music was great.
Let's see. Quinn the Cultist, Lords of the Night. Are any of you going to the Area 51 raid? No.
I don't want to get shot.
A massacre, not a raid. That's going to be a massacre.
Yeah, and if I were, I wouldn't tell you. Let's see. Nothing for you here. Any tricks you use to stay cool in the summer? Take a quick ice cold shower, just a dousing, and just let it sort of air dry off me. That cools me down quite a bit.
I like spray bottles. Spray bottles are my best friends. Little small spray bottles. They don't have to be big. Put some cool water in there. Good to go.
I don't have to use any of that because I'm not a puss.
Oh.
Monkey's a fucking snake.
I like the heat, y'all.
Monkey's a bearded dragon. He likes to bask in the fucking 90-degree sun.
No, worst case, if it gets like you guys know, way too hot, then maybe take a washcloth, get it nice and cold, and wrap it around your wrists. It's an old trick.
Let's see. No one nowhere. Scribe Light. Who would you want your writings to be compared to posthumously? My real name. That says, there's I two pen names here. Let's see. Ebony Williams. Which would be better in a war? Ravens with razor sharp beaks and talons, or carnivorous goats?
The hell are the people smoking who watch our show?
Well, Ebony's, I don't know what Ebony does, but she comes up with some kooky questions. Better in a war? Well, the war, it would depend on a whole lot of things. Like, I presume I would probably have more ravens than I would goats, and it'd be harder to shoot out of the sky, possibly, unless they're like probably ravens, I suppose. They could do night attacks on people and go in and get out quickly. Sure.
Yeah, probably ravens, unless you're really unfortunate and the army you're fighting got flamethrowers. It's like, oops.
Yeah. Death by 1,000 cuts would probably be more of an efficient thing than having a few goats trying to eat people at one at a time. Let's see. Shiogarath, is a hot dog a taco? No. Mr. Moose says, Scribe Light, write a book. Yeah, let me just go do that. Yeah. Anyway, you guys have no idea how much I envy SDA that she had the wherewithal and the focus and everything else to just start writing a book series. I wish I had that kind of focus. I wish I had that kind of...
You know how many books Jack Cochran's wrote?
No, how many?
He's wrote like 6 or 7 books.
Okay, I'm just depressed now. I'm gonna go find that noise you hear in the background. That's my faith in myself dying. That's the heart monitor.
Yeah, what you need to do, Scribe, is stop worrying about if they're going to be good or not, and just write them.
That shit.
Shitty. Even if it comes out shitty, just keep writing them until they come out better.
That's what Jack did.
Yeah, I'm telling you just got to do it. Nike.
Quinn the Cultist says, "Do a barrel roll." Do a barrel roll. Yeah. Bodacious T. Any of you guys ever been able to do a flip in real life at some point in life?
Oh, I think I've told the story on the show on how I knocked myself out doing that.
Yeah.
Actual flip? No, I don't think so.
Yeah, me and my brothers and sisters, we used to do that shit all the time. Like flipping off of shit, running up walls and doing backflips off of things. My record for backflips in a row was like 32. And my brother's was like 41, and I could not beat it no matter how hard I tried. But we used to do all that shit, man. My brothers used to be able to do all the twists and acrobatic shit without the springboards, like on solid fucking concrete, just like a full twist and land. I'm like, holy shit, man. We were crazy ass kids. That shit was fun.
No, I could never complete the rotation. I always hit my head.
Let's see. I do that. I have no idea what this is. RJ Banzo says, Scribe Light, how do you avoid a con artist? Just block them?
What?
If there's a joke there, it's right over my head.
I did see somebody ask if I was going to take Little Butt to see The Lion King.
Hmm.
I hadn't planned to, and then I saw several reviews, and ain't no way.
Yeah, I heard it was kind of bland and
And
what
dark.
again, and yeah, especially when they look more realistic than cartoons. Again, why make an animated film as a remake of an animated film?
Well, see, the problem with this one is the lions are all real.
They
But
are?
yeah, the lions are real.
I thought they were all CGI.
No, they CGI their mouths to make them talk. They use real lions.
Oh, that's the live action. Why even
Yeah.
bother? Okay.
I saw several different reviews, and they all talk about how dark it is. I don't want to scare the child.
Yeah.
So
I mean that first part in the original movie with Mufasa dying is dark enough.
Yeah.
Well, I was looking at a Polygon and they were talking about it, and you know they got hot takes.
Sure.
So what their title said was that the movie was literally just a remake of the movie, like a 1-to-1 remake of the movie. And then their headline said they really don't understand the original movie. And I'm just like, wait a minute. If your complaint is the remake is literally just a 1-for-1 copy of the original movie, how can your criticism be they don't understand the original movie?
Well, okay, as a similar example, the movie Psycho. Okay, they remade Psycho several years ago. Gus Van Sant, I think, did. And it was a shot-for-shot remake of Psycho. However, it was in color. The actors and their performances did not evoke the same scenario emotionally or behaviorally as the original characters. The entire tempo and feeling of the film was different, despite the fact that it was a shot-for-shot remake. So you can make a film that is scene for scene, line for line, exactly as the first one, but not have it possess the same feeling or focus or depth of character as the original if you don't strike the right chords or the same chords. So I can see what they're talking about.
Well, yeah, I think what the disconnect is, like, there's a lot of cartoony shit happening in this movie that they're trying to make look as real as possible. And your imagination was like, it wasn't really necessary back then, because with an animated movie, they could like make everything happen for you. So like when they're eating bugs and shit, you know, they could animate it to make it look as gross as they wanted or anything like that. But it's just like, you see cartoon animals together, they're like proportionately the same size for the most part and everything. And then you look at this movie, everybody, the thing I kept seeing is unsettling. People were like, it's just unsettling. It's uncomfortable. It's something that's not right about this movie.
Check Your Logic says, didn't you say Psycho was remade just so it wouldn't be remade again? That is either a quote from Gus Van Sant or somebody's theory that he part of his motivation to remake it was that it would prevent anybody from having any excuse to try to remake it again. Like he was sort of doing some kind of like block of ruining a classic by ruining the classic. I don't know. But hey, you know, ever since that remake, there hasn't been a Psycho remake. The closest you've gotten is Bates Motel, the TV series, which I only watched like a few episodes of before I got bored with it. I hear that was pretty good, and it was enough of a difference from the original. You could say it's sort of an alternate universe kind of thing, because it was dealing with Norman Bates as a kid and took place in the modern day, etc. So, yeah. But as far as a movie, I'd be surprised if somebody says, "Hey, let's remake Psycho again."
Right.
Especially since everybody knows the twist, and the twist is really the big part of it. And without Anthony Perkins doing the character, it's really not the same. Let's see. Shiogara says, "What's the most ridiculous fact you know?" The first one that always comes to mind is why it's called the World Series. I've told that one a bunch of times. People think it's one thing, but it's definitely the other. Do you guys remember why it's called the World Series?
Wasn't like a name of a company or something?
Yeah, it was first sponsored by the newspaper The New York World, which no longer exists, but the name is stuck. It's like the naming rights of a competition. It just never changed. Or do you guys have any like ridiculous fact you know off the top of your head?
Not really.
No, nothing that comes to mind.
I probably have more, but something has to sort of trigger it.
Right.
Mr. Malavi says, Scribe Light, will Eddie Murphy be in the Mulan live-action remake? Somehow I doubt he'll be voicing a talking dragon. But hey, it's Disney, so you never know.
Well, somebody mentioned, like, a lot of people were criticizing the preview and stuff because they're like, it's not like the 90s movie. And they came out and specified that it is not based off the movie.
Right. Thank goodness. I mean, if you're going to do something with the same name, at least vary it a little bit to make it interesting.
So I'm going to disagree with you guys there. They should just, I mean, that's what made them popular. But if you looked at Aladdin, even if they were going to do it that way, they probably wouldn't have included the dragon because Iago like barely talks in Aladdin.
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell? He was such a big part of the original.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm actually more interested in it if it's about because I don't really know much about the official lore of a lot of these, like stories and stuff, like the what they were based off of. But that makes me at least feel like I'm gonna see something I haven't seen before. But I already know what they were going to do to it. If like she wasn't gonna get with the dude because that was gonna be, it was gonna be a feminist message. Like at the end of the movie, they were gonna take that out, and her being a chick or whatever was going to be even more heavily emphasized this time around than it was before. And instead of the dudes just like accepting her like they did at the end of the movie, there's going to be some conflict. We're like, oh, you're a bitch. No, that's not cool. Or they're just going to ruin it. So.
Quinn the Cultist, Scribe Light, what would you do for a Dr. Pepper beer or wine? Start a petition to ask them not to. Because I wouldn't drink either one. Dr. Pepper flavored wine, and I don't drink beer, so yeah, no. Mixing it with Jack Daniels is plenty enough for me. Mata Winter says, Lords of the Night, what do you think of a female-led Psycho movie revival? Well, if you watch the TV show Bates Motel, you kind of have that. So there you go.
If they try to do that today, it'll be like, this movie is misrepresenting women and perpetuating the stereotype that women are emotionally unstable.
And also sort of trivializing mental illness and a whole bunch of other things.
Yeah.
Angela Arriaga says, ridiculous fact, the type banana flavoring for candies and baking and such is actually extinct, which is why banana flavored things don't taste like the bananas we eat today. Okay. Interesting.
Oh, wow. That is like a random thing to know.
Ebony Williams, what do you like on your hot dogs? Ketchup and mustard and yeah. Yo mama. Okay, monkey.
I heard
that. Let's see. RJ Bands with Scribe Light, what movies are you looking forward to review-wise? I don't even know how to answer that one review-wise. I don't know. As far as looking forward to, I'm looking forward to when they finally make At the Mountains of Madness, the H.P. Lovecraft story. I'm looking forward to when they finally make Neuromancer, even though it's going to be directed apparently by Tim Miller. Tim Miller, who just told everybody the closet misogynists are going to hate this Terminator. Honestly, I was thinking about this today. When I read that again, I saw somebody else posted that article where he's like, oh yeah, the closet misogynists are going to fucking hate this Terminator. I was like, aren't you the same Tim Miller who got like accused of sexual Me Tooing or something about a year and a half ago, just before you started production on this movie? Is there any chance that your rhetoric now and your thought process making that movie isn't maybe influenced by you trying to prove to everybody that you're not a bad guy? Which, I can understand if you were falsely accused, but all the same, seems a little odd. And man, if he's going to direct Neuromancer, and he's going to be the guy in charge of directing the qualities of Molly Razor. Granted, yeah, she was a strong female character. It's true. She was definitely stronger than Case. I just hope that she doesn't end up overtaking the entire story. Thank you, William Savage. Down with bad creatures. Will listen post blackout. Stay heavy. Bad creatures post blackout. I don't know what that means. Are you in a power outage situation? Did a squirrel climb up onto your transformer and blow it up?
It was a giant squirrel.
It was a giant squirrel, not a pygmy elephant. Okay. Well, with that, guys, on giant squirrels and pygmy elephants, we're at the top of the hour, and thus the end of the show. So everybody, chat, all y'all, thank you for joining us, as you always do. You guys are at least 50% of the show, if not more. And we really do appreciate all the stories you send us and the questions you ask and your participation in Mad Libs. I couldn't do it without you. Thank you, moderators, for watching over things, even though our audience is the best behaved in the world. And everyone who donated, thank you so much for your generosity. As indicated in the past, it'll probably all go towards Dr. Pepper and Goldfish, but hey, it's what a growing boy needs. Remember, guys, over on 2 Cents Plus, just after this show, you can watch Monkey and Satsu and possibly a Sinatra, depending, I guess. Kill zombies in 7 Days to Die. And there will be a giveaway, a mystery item, if you tune in and have the opportunity to. Remember, guys, per usual, tomorrow night we'll be on Monkey's channel. I may not be here, depending on timing. So look forward to either a guest host or maybe it'll be a Satsu and Money show. I don't know if you guys have ever done one of those before.
We've been together like I think twice without supervision.
Yeah. Oh, I'm the only adult in the room. Okay.
That's actually how Word of the Day got started.
All right. Well, with that, guys, again, thank you for joining us. Monkey, Satsu, thank you for joining me as always.
A pleasure.
Everyone, your lives make us sad, and we will see you tomorrow.
Hi, guys.
Bye.
And speaking of Word of the Day, I'm going to be once again reading from my copy of Screw the Roses, Send Me the Thorns, the romance and sexual sorcery of sadomasochism. E-random page, and today's secret word... okay. Today's secret word is mistake.
Mistakes were made.
Mistake.